Okay, so we should be live. Let's wait for a moment for YouTube to catch up. Okay, it seems to be working as intended. Let me just try to move the mic a little bit closer to my head so it doesn't take the whole screen. And also let me just post the link in the Discord. Great. Okay, so now we can continue working on our inflatable castle. I have already done a little bit of work from the last time. You can see it's not looking as nicely as we have left it off because there are also still some issues because we're using like a lot of nodes for this rounded part, so we're gonna have to make them a little bit more blocky or squared so they fit a little bit better with the whole Sandbox theme. So that's mostly what we're gonna do at the start, and then later on we're hopefully gonna add some more stuff here on the right side, I guess, if we look from this perspective. But if you're looking from the front, then it's on the left, of course. So first, I think I would like to add to these like slide guards, just some horizontal thingies. So I don't know if we still have like those shorter models. Let me see. Is this one used anywhere? Maybe we can color it in some color. So maybe red, and then we'll see if it's somewhere already being used. Doesn't seem like it, so I guess I'll just try to put this here at the top. So let me create a child node, and this is gonna be, I guess if we follow the naming convention, it's gonna be S05 side 1, I guess. And then let's attach this one here. And then we're gonna have to drag it all the way to the top. And then I guess we have two options. We can either change the pivot point to the top because it's gonna be rotated around this top side, or we can rotate it around this axis here for 180 degrees. And now we have our pivot point on top. We just need to adjust it so it's aligned. And now we can rotate it downwards so it's horizontal with the ground. And then we can also extend it a little bit further so it kind of connects with this other part. So let's see. How long do we want to make this? Maybe 70. We still have a little bit of a gap, maybe 72. Okay, this seems about right. Okay, there's gonna be a little bit of a overhang, but I think this is fine. So we have this part here. You can kind of see we have some Z fighting, so we can just adjust it by maybe 0.1 to the side, something like this, just so the rendering engine knows what to render on top and what to render on the other side. And then basically, I think we can just duplicate this and attach it to these nodes. So hopefully this works. So let me just duplicate node S0, I don't know, 6. I don't know. I'm just using some random names. And then if we attach it here, okay. And then we can duplicate it again into, I don't know, this one is gonna be, wait a second, which are we duplicating now? We need to duplicate this one. So S01 side 1, I don't know, I guess, well, no, parentheses don't really work. I'm just gonna do it like this and attach it here so we can have all of these ending in the same manner. And you can also see it's the same model, I guess, because they are colored the same color. But now that we have them, I guess we can leave them for now as they are. Okay, so this seems to be fine. Now this platform could be extended a little bit further outwards. I think we have 2 blocks of space here on the right. So let me just go in here. And I guess this is the shorter side, the blue one. So we can add 64 voxels to this. And then we have, I don't know, 172. Is that correct? That's a little bit too low. It's 128. Then 196. Well, no, 192, I think. Just trying to do some quick math in my head. But it seems to be fine, right? Let me fill this in, and then we can check it out. Okay, so it might be a little bit too wide because we can't see the edge there, but we can fix that. We can make it a little bit more narrow, so maybe 190. This seems to be aligned nicely. Let me check again. Okay, now when we can see the full outline, we know that it's like right next to the outer side. And here you can see there's like a little tooth in between the steps, so let's move it inwards a little bit. So we have it like that. Okay, so this platform is fine, and now I guess let's move this slide a little bit outwards, just so we can see a little bit better what's going on. And maybe I can turn on the bounding boxes, so it's even a little bit more clearer still. So this wall 32, I think it's only used here. We can double check that the same way as what we have done with these. So basically we're just gonna color it some color. That's not gray, of course. And we can see, okay, we have it here as well. So we can't just straight up repurpose it or something like that, but we're gonna need to figure something else. And it's also a bit odd why we have made these too narrower, so yeah, I guess that makes sense. We're gonna have to modify this front wall a bit. As you can see, it's overlapping with our slide, so I guess well, I don't think we should just straight up delete this node. Maybe we can attach, because these two bottom parts are still attached to it, so now we can get rid of this one. Let's move the two walls outwards, and then we're gonna need to figure out something else. And actually, I think we should move these all the way to the right, to here, and then just extend them so they cover the whole bottom side. So let me just see. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blocks wide. And since we have two walls, one should be like 4.5 blocks wide. Or actually, we can keep them 4 blocks because we have 1 block from this orange part. So I guess since it's already in the name, 124 or 128, my bad, we should just extend them to be 4 blocks wide. And then I think, okay, pivot point is at the edge. So let's see what we got. Okay, so we have a bit of overlap. Let me move this one to the right first, so it's at 128, and this one is already positioned as it's supposed to be, I guess. And also I think we're gonna need to make this orange part a little bit shorter, as you can see there. Or we could move this whole thing inwards, but yeah, both are valid options, I guess. We will just have to make this platform smaller in that case. So I think one cool thing that we could do would be just to create another wall, and then it's gonna be 3 blocks wide, and then we can use the shorter wall here as well. So maybe we can just save this in case something crashes. And then let me find these wall models. Okay. So we can duplicate this into wall 96 because that's 3 times 32, right? So let me just reduce this to 96. And the pivot point is at 0. Yeah, we just need to grab the correct axis. Okay, and now we can just replace this model with the narrower one. Let me find it where it is. Okay, 96. So we have that done. Well, it's overlapping a little bit, so that's not the best. 96. Okay, so I think we have like a voxel or two of space still here, so maybe let's move this to the right a little bit. So, okay, now it's one, now it's one too much, so it needs to go to 129. Let's see here. So these two are aligned nicely now. And also these at the bottom should be fine as well. Cool, so we have this front side, and now let's see. Okay, here, yeah, this is like another. Oh yeah, we can move everything further inwards. So I guess we can just replace this with another 3 blocks long part, and also okay, so these are not perfectly aligned, so whatever. So let's move this inwards so they're connected, and it also comes a little bit more nicely towards these parts here. Okay, so there's that. And now we need to make this orange part a little bit shorter so it kind of connects with these gray ones underneath. So let's get to the editor. And it also helps if you open the editor from the animator, not from the library here on the right, because you can see the ghosts of the other rigs, which can help you out a little bit. So now let's get rid of this, and let's also trim the volume. So we got that done, and also we need to keep a little bit of an indentation. I can show you here, just so it isn't shown on the inner side of the slide. Okay, so this seems to be working fine, and maybe we can just recolor the rest of the stuff back to this gray that we're using, just so we don't have it too colorful, at least not at this stage. We're gonna make it colorful later on, of course. Okay, so we can get rid of this as well. And I guess we can recolor these red parts to gray again, like this. Okay, so I think we have this like the first floor platform, or whatever we want to name it. I think that's pretty much done, except here we have a little bit of a gap, so let me just quickly fill that in. And now I guess we can move the slide backwards. Because we also have a little bit more space because we have moved everything inwards to maybe 32. Okay, so the next thing that we need to kind of readjust is these arches, because we are using 5 nodes on each side, and yeah, I guess that's a little bit too much. So we're gonna delete this one and all the children with it, like that. And then here, I guess we can keep this one the horizontal. We can just rename it to gates. Wait, what? Gates horizontal. And then maybe we can attach it to this as a parent, just so we don't get... Wait, where did it go? Oh, okay, it kept some of the rotation from before. But now that we have our hierarchy, we can just delete the parent or the most parent node or whatever. So yeah, we got rid of the slopes, and then we can reset the rotation and then move it upwards. But I was kind of thinking, because this tower is kind of like hinging a bit over the edge, we could move the tower to this side and then maybe gates to the other side, so gates to the right from this perspective, and then tower would be here on the left. So we can also try to do that. But now let's see how the hierarchies would be working out. So I guess we can move this just to the right, 64, and then the other gate side we can move it again, and then this tower should be moved to the left like this. Okay, so that's a little bit better. Let me just readjust this node. So it's at 192. Cool. So here we have our gate sides, and then here we have our tower. Okay, I'm just looking so it's not like intersecting with the slide or anything, because sometimes that can cause some clipping issues, or if the player would want to go run up or down this circular slide or spiral slide, it might get caught in some collision boxes from the tower or something like that. So this one needs to be rotated horizontally, of course. And then also let me just check how tall these sides are. So 3 blocks. I was thinking that maybe we could do like one only for the diagonal part, and then this one can be horizontal and at the top. So something like this. And then here it would also kind of help if we were to put the pivot point to the center of it, because it would be a little bit more easy to center it between the gates or between the sides. But now again, I think it would be better to first do the diagonals, so we can kind of know a little bit better where the stuff is gonna end up. So one option would be to kind of have the same model for this as well, but yeah, due to the pivot points, that might not be the best idea actually. So let me find the gates horizontal, that's upwards. Now I'm learning the order of the letters in the alphabet again, because I need to kind of have a feeling what's more at the top and what's not. Or we can use the gate slope actually. We already have the model for that. So let's create a child node here. So gates 0 slope, I guess we can call this one. Then let's put it here. Let's make sure we select the correct node. And then let's try to rotate it here. So we have the pivot point. Actually, wait. Where do we want to have our pivot point? On the outer side, actually, like this. And now let's try to position it in a way that we want it to be positioned. So it's basically aligned. Okay, we need to move it downwards a little bit. So it's actually aligned right now, and then we can just rotate it by 45 degrees, I guess, would make most sense. We could make it less even. This is 30, that's 45. Well, I guess we can go with 30. We'll see what we get. And then actually before we do that, let me just duplicate it. And this one is going to be gates 1 slope. And this one is going to be attached to the other node. So let's put it here. And then here we're just going to need to rotate it around because it's going to be rotating inwards basically. So let's move it to the right. And I guess we can make them a little bit taller or longer. Maybe, yeah, 32 could be good for the start, but we might need to make it a little bit longer still. But now we can kind of see how far this stuff extends. So now if we rotate it to 30 degrees, okay, we get something like that. And then also here, we can kind of try to position it to the middle, but we can make this, I guess, 2 blocks wide. Doesn't need to be too narrow. And then we can just fill this in. And then also let's move the pivot point to 32. So it's in the middle, like this. And then this is 16, and then this is 0, which is also fine. Okay, so let's see. So we have 3 blocks in between here. So I guess if we put this to 64, it should be centered. And now let's, I guess, extend this outwards a little bit. So maybe to 48, like this. And you can see now, since we have only 30 degrees, it's having like a pretty large gap here at the top. Otherwise, we would have maybe a little bit larger gap at the bottom. So we can experiment with some of this rotation still. So, I mean, it would look most balanced if we were to keep it at 45 degrees. Okay, and 45 here, and then we can move these downwards like that. And it will still need to be a little bit wider, I guess, because we have like this little gap here. So let's see, maybe we can make it to 70, fill this in, adjust the pivot point to 35. And let's save. Okay, and we have like reduced this slope from, I think, 11 nodes to 3, which should hopefully be a little bit better. So there's that, and the last thing that we need to fix before we can start making some new stuff is this, like, I don't know, the tower roof, which is again using a little bit too many nodes. So yeah, I think it would be easiest if we just delete most of this stuff. So let's delete you as well, delete this, and then this one is actually fine, and then the flag should also be moved to like 1 node. I wanted to make it like it's waving a bit, but yeah. So let's just go ahead and find the tower spike. Okay, we have named them tower spikes. So let's create a child node. Wait, okay, slide and tower. So this is tower spike 0. And then let's put the tower spike 0 node to it. Let's select it first, of course. Let's drag it upwards. I think it should be at 128. And then we're just gonna make it like a square or a rectangle. So let's see if it's 66 in width. It should probably be 66 voxels wide as well. And then let's fill this in. Whoops, that's the wrong color. Okay, let's quickly fix that. And then let's adjust the pivot point to 33 and 33. It's probably centered here already. Okay, so here is our first roof part. And then I guess we can create some child nodes. So this one is going to be tower spike 1. Now let's find the tower spike 1 model. And then let's, oops, that's the wrong control. And then this one is going to be 48 by 48. Like this. And let's readjust the pivot point, and then let's move it upwards as well. So we need to select this one, and let's drag it up until we see this bottom outline, like that. Then we can create another child node, which is going to be tower spike 2. Let's find the model. And now this one is tower spike 3, my bad. And this one is going to be 32 by 32. And now that we have like increments of 16, I think it would make most sense if the bottom one would be like 64, not 66. Just so we kind of keep it nice. And I don't know if the bottom one is also 24 voxels tall or not, but we can adjust that in a moment. So 24, then let's check this one out. Okay, so it's 24, but let's change it to 64 and 64 in this direction. And let's also readjust the pivot point to 32. Okay. So all of these are stacked together nicely. And then just for the flag, well, I guess if we were to follow the hierarchy, we can attach this one here, and then we're gonna need to move it downwards a little bit. Okay. And then the tower flagpole, let's just get rid of all of these. And let's also delete all of the models, because we might forget that, and then it would just take some unnecessary room. So let's see where there's the tower flagpole. Okay, and then the tower flag 1 and 2 can be deleted, because that's going to be all in one node. And then we can also rename this into tower flag, because it's going to be only one. And now let's nest this here. Let's drag it downwards to 24. Come on. Let's zoom in a little bit so it's a little bit easier to adjust. And then let's create another child node, which is going to be tower flag. And then let's put this one here. Let's drag it to the right. And let's also drag it all the way to the top. And now we can maybe play around a little bit with it. So maybe let's make it 32. Or even, what's the next one? 48 voxels wide. And here we have like a couple of options. We can either do it like a spike. And I guess here it would be helpful also if we mirror across the y-axis. So we can do it into something like this. We could do it to something like this. Maybe we can check our references to see if there are any flags. Okay, here are a couple of flags. Let me just zoom in to this one. Okay, these are like the V-shaped, but Yeah, I don't know. I think if we were to make them, well, no, the number of faces kind of stays the same. I guess we're gonna just go with the square one for now, and then we can do some more detailed stuff if we have enough room, or if we have enough faces left. I mean, right now we have 540 only used, so I don't think that should be a problem, but with large assets that can easily be exceeded. And now here I'm kind of thinking if we should make some details at the start of these slides, maybe, I don't know, I'm not too sure. Maybe we could move like this door to the top as well, maybe just on this slide. The other one doesn't really need to have them, but maybe it would be cool if we have them like on the top and on the bottom. So let's see. And it would also kind of be useful if they were all nested together. So let's try to make this a child of this one, and then let's readjust it. So I think we need to move it inwards a little bit, and the other stuff should kind of take care of itself, right? So now we can just duplicate this and maybe rename the node slide gates, so we know a little bit better what's going on. Then let's duplicate this one into slide gates 1, and then let's drag them backwards and upwards. Let's try to adjust them so they're somewhere like at the start of the slide, maybe somewhere around this. Let's see, they could either be here so they can mask a little bit the inconsistencies, like it's tiny inconsistency. I mean, maybe 1 voxel, something like that. Let me just see actually if we move this downwards a little bit. Are they actually aligned? Yeah, not really. Okay, so it doesn't really matter there, but it can look kind of cool if we have it here. And then maybe this part can be like made into some kind of a tower, so you can kind of climb on this spiral slide. So there's that. Of course, the other option would be to move them like more forwards, like where the platform breaks into the diagonal part. That also looks good. So yeah, we'll see about that. And then we also kind of need to figure out what we want to do here. Maybe we can do just some kind of we could do like some blocks so we have like that rugged texture of the castle walls. We'll see about that. So I guess here I'm also thinking if we should make like another loop of this spiral slide, so it doesn't end up here, but we make it even a little bit taller. So maybe we can duplicate this node. So duplicate node, SSS4. Okay, that one is already used. Let's see how far we need to go. Okay, SSS5. And then let's attach that one here. So where is our SSS5? What? Is this a child of... Are we just renaming stuff? Wait a second. Let's see. What's the name of this node? SSS3. So if we were to duplicate node into SSS5, it should be moved all the way downwards. Okay. And let's see. So our Okay, we can do that. Interesting. What's going on right now? So here's our SSS3. Oh, we might be selecting the wrong one. That might be interesting. Okay, so duplicate it. SSS 5, I think we went with. And then this one is actually the incorrect child. So let's move this. I don't know, that's gonna be a little bit tricky actually. We need to find the child of SSS3 that's placed here. And which one is that? Wait, what? Okay, so this is the incorrect one. God darn it. Let's move this downwards, just so we can select the correct one. So it's SSC06. Okay, maybe we can find it like that. SSC05. Okay, we need to extend this outwards actually. Okay. Okay, we need to attach it to this node here. Okay, okay. Finally, we got it. Like that. And then we need to get rid of this corner here. So let's delete this node. And then let's duplicate this one. SSC0010, something like that. And let's just drag it over to the other side. Like that. And then, why is this not aligned? Guess we need to move it a little bit further out and down, I guess. Okay, something like that. And then here we're gonna need to create some more of the wall. So let's see. I guess this part on the left is gonna be open, and then here we're just gonna like use another set of these walls. So I guess the easiest way would be to just create child nodes and then attach them. So let's create a child node. It's gonna be I guess S. Let's see where we want to start. So we were using 0 for like the ground floor, and then this is going to be S100, S10. I guess this makes sense. And then let's attach our wall 128 to it. Like that, and then let's move it upwards. Of course 128 blocks, or not, because the 128 is actually the width, not the height. So 134, and then we're gonna I guess we can do it like that, or we could make them children of this one, so we would have like the first floor like that. But yeah, each of them has its pros and cons, so I guess we're just gonna go this way. So create child node S11. Although it might make more sense if we were to nest them, but yeah, we'll see. Now this one, 134, I think, upwards. Okay. Then here is the 96 one actually, so let's, or well, we'll see. We can use this one as well. So create child node S12, and then we can use this one, I guess. Oops. Let's select the correct node first. So I guess here we can kind of calculate which makes more sense. So this one is 96, this one is 128. So if we overlap it here, so that's 7 blocks, yeah. Either way, we're gonna need to do some adjustments regardless. So yeah, it doesn't really matter which one we use there. I guess it makes more sense if we use the shorter one because we don't need to invent a new block or like a new model. So we're gonna go with that. And then this one is gonna have a child node S13, which is 4 blocks wide. So let's move this upwards to 134. And then the last one is gonna be the 3 blocks wide, and it's gonna be called S14. At least here around. We're gonna still need to kind of figure out, we can maybe make some kind of this rounded door here as well. We'll see. So 96 and then 134 up. Cool. So there we have that. And then I guess this one needs to have one as well. And then these are actually 2 blocks long, right? 72, a little bit more even. Okay. So let's first create a child node for this one, which is gonna be S15, I think, is the next one in line. So let's add to it the 58 wide model. So let's see, where are you? Also, what's the small wall 128? Are we using this somewhere? Let's see. Small wall, what, 138? Oh, the small walls are here underneath. Okay. So we're gonna need to make these a little bit taller, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's first finish this. So we need wall 58, which should be somewhere underneath here. And let's move it upwards like that. And I think this is gonna be the outer bound of our tower. So let's see how these are aligned actually. Yeah. So here it's gonna be a little bit tricky because it's a little bit shorter on this side. I mean, we could make it like extend upwards, but it's gonna be still like a little bit shorter than the rest. But since it's gonna have to be like a special block that we're not using anywhere else, I think that's not too problematic. We're just gonna name it something weird like wall 72 +1 maybe. If that makes any sense. So this one is like 1 voxel taller than the rest. So first let's make it 72 wide, and then let's make it 130, oh come on, 135, wait what? 135 tall. Okay, yeah, here's a gap because we reduced it by too much and then we extended it upwards, my bad. Okay, so this one can be attached here. So let's see, create a child node. That one is gonna be S16, I think, is the next one in line. And let's find our wall +1. Okay, here it is. And then let's move it up by 135. So these two are nicely connected, and here is maybe like a tiny gap also in between here. Okay, interesting. Maybe we can move it inwards by a little bit. So maybe like, I don't know, like that. That's a little bit too much actually. Let's see. But if we move it to 0, is there a gap here? Or yeah, there's a tiny gap actually. How did you get to that? Do we have like some pivot points put weirdly? Because here, yeah, here is also like a tiny offset for like a little bit. That's annoying. Maybe we can move it inwards by like some tiny amount. Let's see how much. Okay, I think this is connected a little bit more nicely now. Okay, so there's that. And now we can also try to put these gates somewhere here. And then we're gonna, I guess, need to make some kind of a top part so it's full. So let's see, duplicate node. This is gonna be, I guess, tower gates. We're just gonna name them differently, but they're basically the same thing as what we had before. So let's rotate it around by 90 degrees. Then let's move it here to the right, and then either we can move them all the way to the right. Well, actually we should, because they take like the whole width. And maybe that can be put like a little bit outwards. Like that. And then we're gonna need to put something like here to kind of cover them up. And I think now it would be like a good time to kind of check if these gates are actually large enough for our avatars to walk through them and stuff like that. So maybe let's try to export this to the marketplace and try them and try this model in the game maker. So I guess we're gonna need to wait a moment for it to load, and in the meantime we can open the Sandbox maker as well. Okay, so here we have our, I don't know why it's showing the sign in page. Let's see what's gonna happen if we click on replace. Okay, it's not working. Let me just log in real quickly. I guess my cookies expired. Otherwise it usually logs me in automatically. Okay, also let's log in here. So now I'm not sure this is gonna work. Place, castle, continue. Okay, now it still seems to be working. So let's close this and let's go to the test map and open it up, and let's see what we got. And let's hope it already updated. That's not the newest version. Okay, there we have it. Okay, this is pretty huge. So this works fine. This also works fine. And then here are the other gates. And then here we're gonna maybe make like some kind of a parkour so we can kind of jump something similar to this staircase. And also maybe we can get up here, here. Maybe we can get on the flag. Oops. Okay. Something like that. Cool. So that's good. Guess we can save this map as well. It's not really required because we're just updating one asset. We're not like putting new ones or something like that. But yeah, it doesn't hurt. really, if you save it. Okay, so this is still working, that's good. And now we can, I guess, make this a little bit taller, or let's move it upwards first, so we don't have the gap anymore, and then we can extend it downwards. And also I think these two, here we have like that thing, yeah. Also let's try to fix this up. So so in case, let's see, and also let's turn off the mirroring. So if we were, let's see, we need to keep this part right because it's gonna be seen on the inner side, but other than that, well, we can check it out and see what happens. Okay, yeah, because this part is moved inwards a little bit, but it's the same width as this side thingies, so it's gonna be shown on the inner side. So we should like get rid of this part, just so it doesn't interfere, or it's not shown here like this little triangle, but I'm just cutting off a rectangle so we don't have like too many additional faces from that. Okay, and yeah, also now we can try to fix this gap. So let's open the model, and then let's see how much further we need to extend it. So maybe 70, that's not gonna be enough. 80, better, but still we need a little more. So 83 actually seems to be the sweet spot. And now let's fill it in. And I guess we can color it in with the default color, because yeah, why not? Okay, so there's that. Now let's try to figure out what we want to do here. So this is, let's see here, how wide is that? That's 5 blocks wide. I think we might need to split that into a couple of nodes, unless we wanna, I mean, I guess it would be kind of cool if we left some room here, so we can just put a rectangle down here. I guess we can do that. Let's see. Which one should we duplicate now? And also, I don't think, do we need this still? Are these used anywhere? Let's see. Do we see any purple? We don't really. So I think we can reuse this for something else. So let's rename this model into tower gates. And then we're gonna attach it maybe to this one. So let's create a child node, tower gates top. And let's attach this one here. And then due to the orientation, I guess we can put it here. Then let's see what size we require. So 5 times 32 is 160. So that's gonna be our width. And then we can make it a little bit taller also, so maybe 48. And we can leave a little gaps here on the sides I'm not really decided if I like them or not, but they are there. So like this, and then we can also use our default color there. Okay, I'm just thinking if there's like a problem that maybe we can make it a little bit narrower. Or not, because we still need to kind of figure out what shape is gonna be our top platform. Maybe we can try to duplicate the one from here, but this one is like a full... That's gonna be a little tricky. So we're definitely not gonna use this one, because otherwise it wouldn't be accessible from the bottom, and that's not really something that we want to go for. So we'll see. But I guess it's cool if you keep it rectangular. Here, in the worst case, we can make like different blocks and make them thicker here, so it's aligned on the inner side. Or like another option would be to just kind of push this door to be like aligned with that, which isn't like great, but it's also not terrible. I think I like them here better. It adds a little bit to the whole thing. And then maybe here in the corner we can put like another tower. So let's minimize that. And then let's see where we should actually attach it. Or actually, let's first duplicate it. It's gonna be called, I don't know, tower small. I don't know if you're gonna have a tower large or if we're gonna make it into a larger tower. But let me just minimize some of this stuff. So maybe this can be attached to the bottom wall. Okay. And now it's all weird. So let's rotate it around by 180. Then let's try to position it in the corner. So it's here. Let's see. So 8, maybe 24. Like that. And then this can be, so this is at 168, so let's put it maybe to 152. So I think they should both have like 16 voxels of offset on each side. And then let's, I guess, move it downwards so it's aligned with this. Okay, here. Also, is there like a little gap in between? Huh, that's not good. Okay, well. So if we were to move everything to 64, I guess it's a little bit better. But now we have a little bit of a gap on this side, right? Okay. Interesting. So let's try to fix this one. Okay, this one is actually overlapping by quite a lot in both directions. Well, here it has to, so it's connected with the step, but in this direction we can actually make it a little bit smaller, to be honest. Just so it's a little bit easier to render. But not that much. We can try another one, but we might get a little bit of a gap. let's see. Let's hope it's all right. And then we should extend it into the red axis, so that's the x1. So maybe 236. Enter. And which way is that? Let's get rid of the ghost. Wait, what? Oh, that's the wrong direction. 192. And let's try to fill that in. And let's see if that fixes anything. Let's hope so. Okay. So now it kind of seems a little bit better. Can we still see like a gap in between? Maybe from the underneath. Yeah, there's still a little gap. Okay, maybe we can put it to 194. Yeah, we're gonna have to check everything so we don't have any gaps or something like that. Okay, so now it's obviously larger because you can't see the right edge, the purple outline there, but yeah. There's that. There's another one of our towers, and then here for the top, I'm just trying to figure out what kind of a shape would make most sense. I mean, I guess we can make it like we can make a platform here, and if we were to make it an L shape, I think it would be a little bit more difficult to create, because we would need to use multiple platforms just so we don't create like weird collision boxes. And also it would kind of make most sense if we were to do it here on the left side from this perspective, because we can then use this side of the wall for like some climbing parts or like little steps so the players can jump up. And also we kind of need to figure out how much taller we need to make this thing so it gets all the way up. So I guess let's just start duplicating some of these walls and make them a little bit shorter, and we're just gonna probably rename them from wall into tower or something like that, just so we can have them all at the same place alphabetically. So I guess we can duplicate this and name it tower 96, or tower top 96 would also be an option. So let's create a child node here, and then this one can be, I don't know, yeah, it would make most sense if we continue with this S22. I guess if the parent is S12, it would kind of make sense that the other one has the same second value. So let's find our tower 96. Okay. And then let's extend it upwards. That's the incorrect one, of course. Then I guess it would make more sense if we were to put it here, because we can see a little bit better how it's aligned with the slide. So let's create a child node here as well. So S24, let's put our tower model there, and then let's drag it upwards. So here it needs to align with this bottom part, and this can also be replaced. So this is no longer a corner, it can be a slide, whatever the other part is called. So slide W3, I guess. Oh no, that's the wide one. Let's see, what's this one? Slide straight. Okay, and I don't think that we're using all of these slide parts. Okay, so slide straight, come on. Okay, so this is slide straight, and then let's check if we're using, so this is S0, no, slide W1, okay. Are we using slide W0 anywhere? Still, I mean, we were using it, that's why it's in the library, but we do not require it any longer, so we can get rid of that. So slide W1 is here, and I guess when you hover them, they're also kind of highlighted, so slide W2 is also not in use, at least it doesn't seem to be. And now here, I guess it would kind of be the easiest if we were just to move this inwards until the, come on, okay. At 37, it's like about connected, so we don't need to create some new models or stuff like that. And also this should be moved downwards actually, because it has a pivot point on a different part. So like that, and then the side nodes need to be moved upwards, like this. And then let's also try to see, so rail 64, let's try to use the longer rails, so we don't need to, okay, so they kind of connect here and here. Okay, we're getting there, cool. And now let's try to, okay, we need to also move them a little bit further to the left, so we don't have that gap anymore. And I guess the inner one is gonna need to be a little bit longer, so that's also interesting. Let's duplicate this one into slide rail 64 top. Yeah, I guess that's enough. That's long enough name. I think it should be. And then let's move the let's not move it, let's just extend it by 2 voxels, so we have it something like this, maybe a little bit longer even, so maybe 70. Let's put it at 69. Nice. Okay, having a bit too much fun. So here's that, and now we can try to align this inner part of the tower with the bottom part of the slide. So let's move it downwards a bit. So this is gonna be like the height of our platform, and maybe let's just save so we don't lose our hard-earned progress in case the animator decides to crash. I mean, it has happened before. So yeah, let's see, and then we can delete all of this, and then we can crop or trim the volume, and we see that this is going to be 49 voxels tall. So now we know for the rest how tall they should be. And then this part was actually moved a little bit too high, so let's move it to 49. So these are all that we have for this width. And then I guess this part can be made taller because it's like unique one, and it would make like little sense to make another one that's just a little bit shorter. So let's get in here, and then we need to add 49 to this. So it should be 184, if I'm not mistaken. Then let's fill that in. And then I guess we can move the pivot point, I guess to 49, right? So it should be as before. Okay. Okay, so this is aligned, at least at the best of our abilities. And then this part also is like a unique one, so let's add to it. It's 97, I think. Let's fill it in. And then the texturing might be a little bit interesting once we get to that. But yeah, one problem at a time, I guess. So 49, that's good. And then let's see for the rest of these. I guess it would be I mean, I guess it would be a little bit better if we were to make this top part like from the one, even though it's like the different model to the bottom one, or not. I don't know. Our library would kind of be the same. We would just be using a little bit less nodes. So I guess since we have only done these two, I guess we can try to do that as well. So let's see. Let's find our tower node or tower model or tower whatever, tower wall. Let's see, where are you? So, okay, these are small tower 96. Okay, so we need to add 134 to that. So I think we have calculated that before. So it's 183, I think. So let's fill this in. Okay, that's the wrong color. And now what I had in mind would be to actually just replace this wall. Wait, okay, this one is the lower one with the tower 96, like that. And then we can get rid of this node, and then we can just move this upwards to 183. And then we're gonna do the same thing here. Let's get rid of this node, and then let's move this upwards to minus 183. Okay. So yeah, I guess next thing that we need to do is just do something similar for the rest of different walls. So this one is going to be tower 128. So let's find this one, and then we can just make it taller and then just fill it in like that. And then that needs to be added to a couple of places. So let's put it here, here, and here. And then let's drag them upwards to 183. Okay. And then this one voxel more, and then this one as well. Okay, and then the last one that we need is gonna be tower 58. So let's duplicate this, tower 58. Then we can already drag it here. And then let's make it 183 voxels tall. Let's fill in the gray. Let's save it, and then let's move it upwards. Okay, and then we're gonna need to readjust the gates because they are a child of this node. So let's move you downwards like that. And apparently, Oh, it needs to be moved a little bit to the right as well. Okay, now it's too much, I think. Okay. Cool. So here we have like start of our tower. And then we need to, oh no. Oh, did we wait, what? Did I forget to, let's see. I have duplicated it, but I didn't. Okay, my bad. Let's make this one to 134. And then we need to change the other one. But at least the nodes are now placed correctly. So let's change this one into 183. And then let's, yeah, let's fill it in. Okay. Now here we would also kind of need to maybe make some kind of an entrance or something like that. I mean, it's not gonna be like straight all the way up, but maybe we can do that a little bit later just so we can see a little bit more what's going on the inside. So maybe we can place some of these steps on the sides, and that can actually be like the same model that we're using there. So that really shouldn't be a problem. So let's try to find our ladder step model here in the library. It should be somewhere at the top, right? Okay, there's ladder step. And then we can create like maybe some child nodes here. So here can be like tower step 0. Let's just use the TS abbreviation. And then let's attach it here. And now, yeah, we're gonna probably duplicate them because otherwise we would have to rotate them every time. And that's a little bit tedious. So let's put it to 270. And then also, what's with the pivot points? Yeah, I guess we can work with that also. I mean, it doesn't really hurt us too much. Okay, and now let's drag it downwards. So if this is 180 blocks voxels tall, and I guess this pivot point is at 0 or maybe at a little bit under. So maybe the lower ones can be at something like 130 or even a little bit slower. And maybe one can be here in the corner. And we're gonna test this, of course, in the game maker a little bit later. So yeah, maybe let's move it downwards a little bit still. It's a little bit hard to kind of grasp the perspective from the outside because even now this one is like over a block from the ground, but the player can jump easily across one block, so I don't think that's too problematic. And then let's see where else can we put them. Of course, we shouldn't put them too much on this side because here is gonna be our platform, so that would kind of reduce the ability. I mean, the player is gonna hit their head and they're just gonna fall down. So maybe we can start more towards this side and then move them like if we look from this side, like more towards the right. So maybe this one can be even here on some others. Let's see, maybe we can put it to some other, like here even. And then let's move it downwards a bit to maybe 160 and then like here. So something like that. And then we can duplicate this node into TS1. And then that one can be maybe put to this here. Okay, let's drag it to the right. And then let's also make it a little bit taller. Okay, let's see here, like that. And then, I don't know, it can be like 40 voxels upwards. That's a bit much, maybe 30. Oh. So maybe, let's see, this one is at 160. This one can be at, I don't know, maybe 120. We can do like different spacings now, and then we'll see like which work better. Should they be like a little bit narrower or not? So let's duplicate this node again into TS2, and then let's see how much difference is here. 160. So this is 40 voxels, and then the TS2 can maybe go to this one, and it can be moved like, I don't know, by 50 maybe. So it's at 70. Let's see, 70. And we'll see also how these different distances affect our ability to jump. So let's save. Let's try to export it to the marketplace to kind of see what we are getting. Okay, so we're gonna need to be a little bit patient now with the Vox edit. It's processing all the nodes, I guess. Okay, so here is our window. Let's replace the asset. Here, continue, continue, and that's it. We can cancel this, and then let's go to the test map to try it out. Okay, where did my mouse go? Come on. Okay, here it is. And now we already have the updated version, so let's get inwards or inside. Okay, so we can jump upwards. We also shouldn't be hitting our head when we jump from here. So this looks kind of good. We can do a couple of adjustments, of course. So first let me close that, so it's not hogging our CPU for no good reason. And then let's see, maybe we can move this one a little bit closer, and then we can have like one platform here and maybe another one on the other side, and we're not really gonna create like too many of them. So let's duplicate this node into TS3, and then I think it should be here, and then it should be like somewhere around 0 maybe. Let's move this inwards a little bit. Then why is this? Oh, of course this pivot point is also offset by a little bit. So I guess this can work just fine. And then maybe we can duplicate this one into a TS4 as well. And then that one can be like maybe on the other side for some of the more adventurous people. And I guess it can be placed like this also. So we'll see if maybe this can be like a little bit harder jump to make. Maybe it can be like, I don't know, 12, something like this. We'll see if it's even possible to jump to it from there. So I guess it would be best to test it out. And well, while it's exporting, we can't really do much around here because we're stuck on this screen. but I really want to make this castle so like the players can jump around it and there aren't like many bounding boxes forbidding them from doing that. So yeah, you get like, I mean, I have like in my head like all those inflatable castles and stuff where the children are just like jumping all over each other trying to get to the slide and everything. So hopefully someday I can see that in some kind of a map. So yeah. Okay, so we have updated our model. I just did it on the second screen because it's just a couple of clicks and I have done it like so many times today that it's not really anything new you can get from that. Okay, so here, here, here. Let's see. Okay, so this one isn't even that hard. So that's cool. And then here we're gonna have like a little platform. No. Okay, it's a little bit tricky sometimes. Yeah, now, okay. Enough with that. So we're gonna have like a little platform there, and then maybe we can put a couple of these towers here at the top. And then I think that should be most of our rig done. So yeah, we're getting close to like finishing the first part of this build. And then maybe, oh, wait, what? Why is this going inwards? Oh, because of the rotation. I'm usually used to the green axis pointing up and down, so this got me a little bit off guard, to be honest. Okay, maybe we can put this to 10. And then I guess we can just duplicate this platform L and name it platform M. Okay, and it's, I don't know if the enter was working before, but sometimes it's not, especially when you're like making new assets. So in the screen before this, I don't know if they have fixed that, but it has caught me off guard like a lot of times when I was just spamming the enter button and it did nothing. So let's find our platform. Okay, it's here. And then I guess we just need to attach it to one of these nodes. So maybe this one here. Let's create a child node. It's gonna be called tower platform, maybe. Platform. And I did it again. Okay, let's put it here. Then let's adjust the width. And here we can kind of see that we have like one voxel of overlap, right? So maybe we can fix that here. So the width should be 193. And then the depth, or like the x-axis, should be a little bit shorter also. So let me just first cut out this part, which we definitely don't need. And then I think we can get rid of some of this. And then let's maybe make it a little bit more narrow, just so you kind of have to jump from there to here. Like that. Okay, I guess we can trim the volume. And also let's put the pivot point to 0 maybe. So there's that. Okay. And then let's drag this to the left, like so. And also, wait, what? What happened here? Tower 96. Okay, we actually need the tower 128 here, I think. How did I not see that? Oh, Oh, that's the problem. We have the wrong node selected. Okay, my bad. We need to select this one here. Okay. Then also, apparently we still have a little bit of a gap for some reason. Yeah, I don't like that actually. Let's get this here and then let's, wait, what? That's weird. Okay, so we still have a gap here also, so that didn't really fix it. Yeah, let's see. So we should move this one voxel inwards, and I think everything else should have moved as well. So now we need to change this width to 192, which is a little bit a nicer number. So there's that. Then let's see, do we have any other gaps anywhere? Where is our camera now? Okay, and then let's see here. We have a little bit of an overlap for like a voxel. For one freaking voxel. Where did we get that from? Ugh. That's annoying, but I guess we'll manage. Okay, so this platform at the top is more or less fine. Maybe we can move this a little bit to the left, like so. And then let's see, let's try to put our towers here in the corners. So let me collapse this hierarchy. Duplicate, that's caps lock active. Tower small 0. And then that should be maybe attached to some of these nodes. So let's put it here. Now let's select it and then let's drag it across to the corner. And then also I guess we should move it upwards like this. And let's move it to 24, like so. And also the flags should be rotated all in the same way, so I guess we can fix that later on. We're just gonna duplicate this a couple more times and then just put them in all of the other corners. So let's duplicate node, tower small 1. I guess we could just drag them around. Would that be too bad? Well, in that case, we should have rotated it before, I guess. We'll do that now. We're still learning. And also we should be careful that we rotate it by 90 degrees, like so. Okay, so this one should probably be placed here, or we could move it to this side, like this. I don't think it looks good if it's like there. A little bit too weird. So let's try to align it like this. And then let's rotate this one as well. And are these... Okay, these are independent. I was just thinking if the other one is like a child, then it would look a little bit, well, it would mess up because it would rotate into the other direction. So let's duplicate this one into tower small 2. I guess it really isn't necessary to call it small tower because well, perhaps we're gonna make some bigger towers, but I doubt it. So one voxel to the left, and then let's drag it here. And then the last one into the last corner. So duplicate node, tower, small 3. Then let's drag this one all the way to the left, like so. Okay, great. So that's most of our model done. I think I would like to make some kind of tiny details here at the top, and then I was thinking whether we should add some kind of gate for this slide as well, although that might be a little bit too much or not. We'll see. Now that we have like this inner part mostly completed, I think we can also create this middle part here. So it also is, this one isn't even rotated right, so you need to go to 90 degrees, not 95, Mr. Tower. Okay, and now we kind of need to figure out the width that we need here. So maybe we can just create a child node, call it S16 if that isn't used yet, which it is, S17, okay, that one is still available. Then let's drag this here, then let's drag it in between, so that's not gonna be enough. I think there's 2 blocks in between. Let's try 64, or actually no, we need to first create a new model. So let's duplicate this into tower 64, I guess, since it's the only one. I guess we can make it a little bit shorter, so just so the player can get in. So 64, is that enough? Nope, we need a little bit more, 68. There's still some room, so 70 apparently is the correct ratio. And now let's see if we put it to 64. That's a little bit too much space maybe, or not. I mean, we can put it to 96 also. That should also be fine, at least I think so. So yeah, that's a little bit small entrance. Let's try to go for the middle ground in the height, so the 80. That might be good. We're gonna have to, I mean, I guess it's kind of cool if the player can jump here and not get hit in the head, so there's that. And then let's try to create some of these castle wall blocks or something like that. So I guess we can just duplicate this one. So T tower, duplicate tower wall detail, I guess. I mean, there's probably some better name for it, but this is kind of the most intuitive. So let's see, tower wall, or numbers before letters, small wall tower, 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 tower flagpole. There's so many tower. Okay, tower wall detail. Okay, let's create a child node. This is gonna be TWD, I guess, tower wall detail, and that's the first one. So it's gonna have a number 0. And now, oh, come on. Let's select the correct one, of course. And this is gonna be, let's make it, 48 might be a little bit much. But when you look at it from the distance, I think 32 might be enough. Or maybe, yeah, let's experiment a bit. I think 32 is good enough. And then we can make it 32 by 64. So there we have that. And then the pivot point can be adjusted 16, 0, 0. I guess that's fine. So there's that. Okay. And now let's see how do we want to position these. Maybe it could be centered. It might be a little bit better. So this is 16, this is 32, and then this one is going to be 16 as well. Although, yeah, the vertical one isn't really necessary. But I think it's going to be a little bit easier to... Yeah, you know what? Since we're nesting them, I think it kind of doesn't make sense to having them to realign them again in the Y direction. So I think that's kind of the best that we can work with. And then I guess we can move this one to, I don't know, 70. And then, oh, and this one is also narrower. So that's going to be a little bit tricky. Let's see. So maybe this one can be, is this aligned with the tower? 48, okay. And then let's duplicate node, TWD1. And this one is gonna be attached to this node. And also a little bit, a little bit to the right. And then I guess if we move it, I don't know, from 49 by 10 voxels, so this should be 39, right? 39, and this one by 10, it's at 58. Okay, we still have some room, so let's move it by another 10, so this one is at 68. Okay, and then this one would be at 29. Something like this. And then here we're probably gonna only use one. And yeah, this might be a little bit too wide. We can make them narrower a little bit later. So here, I guess we're gonna create another child node. TWD2 is the next one. So let's find our tower wall detail. Okay, here it is. Let's drag just this thingy upwards. And this kind of looks centered, right? Let's see, if we move it all the way to the right, it's minus 48, and if we move it all the way to the left, it's 48. Okay, so that's perfect. So that's perfect. And then here, let's create a child node, TWD3, and let's attach this one here. Oh, and wait, what? Why is this? Okay, I don't know why this is not rotated, but whatever. We can rotate it manually. That's not too horrible. And I guess, well, I think this width kind of works nicely with here, but for these two sides it might be a little bit too narrow or something. So here it's at 32, and then here it's at 136. So if you add these two together, it's 168 if I'm not mistaken. And then if we divide that by half, we get 48, I think. So let's try to move this to 48. So this is now in the middle. And then I guess we should only use one here on this side. So let's get rid of this node. And then this one can be moved, I don't know. So here is 48. And then here is 177. Oh my gosh, this one is even even a little bit trickier. So 48 and 177. So that's 225, I think. And then if we do that in half, that's about 112. Let's see. And a half. Oh no, come on. And a half, come on. Ah, okay, I think we got it. Cool. So that's for these details, and then maybe we can just try to figure out how we wanna make these gates. So I mean, they're probably gonna be somewhat similar to these at the bottom. So I guess we can duplicate these, right? Duplicate. This is gonna be a spiral slide gates. And then let's collapse most of our hierarchies so we can kind of figure out where we should attach these, or where we should nest them. So, okay. Maybe we can nest them to the platform, but we still need to find where the duplicated gates are. Oh my god. Can I pop this out? And then resize this window? Oh no. Maybe, oh, okay. Okay, now it's a little bit better, but now I forgot the names. Spiral slide, bottom wall. So we need the wall for the platform, and now we need to find out where the gates are. Tower gates. No, these are the other tower gates. Spiral slide gates. Okay. So here are the spiral slide gates, and now we need to. Oh, okay, great. We need that, and now let's put it back where it's supposed to go, and then let me try to find these out. Okay, so completely rotated around and stuff, but okay. Okay, we're getting there. Slowly, but we're getting there. Okay, so here the biggest thing is that these are not gonna be as wide as the bottom ones, because here is 2 blocks wide and this is only 1 block wide. So we're gonna need to make especially these diagonals a little bit shorter. So in this case we're gonna need to duplicate the gate slope into, I don't know, gates slope spiral. So that's cloned. Let's attach these two here. And now I guess we can just, well, we can put the one of these sides to maybe 16. Then let's also align it with the outer part, and then the other side is gonna get a little bit closer. So let's see how much of a gap we have here in between. So that's 22. Yeah, kind of 22. And then if we move it to 16, that's 6 voxels. And then if we do the same thing on the other side, there's a little bit of a, so to 106 basically. Okay. And then let's make these two parts a little bit shorter. So maybe 48. Something like that. Yes, great. And then so let's see if this is at 106. In the middle should be 53. So this is centered now. And then we move it downwards. And that's basically it for the top gates, right? At least I think so. Okay, so yeah, we have kind of managed to create the rig for our castle. Let's make sure all of the flags are aligned. And yeah, so the last thing that we have to do for today is to basically test it in the game maker. And if hopefully everything works as it's supposed to, I think we can call it a day for today. And then we'll probably continue working on it tomorrow, because I really want to get it done ASAP before I go to my grandparents, because I can't bring my PC with me, so that's a little bit challenging. So now let's wait a bit for VoxEdit to process all of this stuff. Let me replace the asset. Let me go into the game maker. Let's try our map and we'll see if we have it loaded already. We don't. Let me restart or yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, cool. So let's see, we can run up and down. That's good. I guess this works fine still. I'm gonna need to probably kind of redo these steps here on the ladder, because they don't really appear to be the same distance one from another. So I can do that off stream, of course. Then, oh yeah, and then the camera can be a little bit tricky here. Can you jump? Like, oh, come on. Okay, maybe then we can jump here as well, and once you're at the top you can run all the way across to the bottom. Cool. So most of this stuff works as intended. There are still some minor tweaks. Maybe we can do that as well. We have like a couple of minutes left till we reach 2 hours. But I'm just gonna quit the game maker because we don't really need it anymore. These are gonna be just some minor adjustments. So one thing I think would be like a little bit of a quality improvement. So if we move this downwards a little bit, the player is probably gonna get stuck here, so they don't run over the edge. And then we can do something similar here. This can be moved, okay, like so. And then let's see, we can move it a little bit downwards as well to something like this. So those were mostly the two small things that I wanted to fix. And then I'm gonna play a little bit with the ladder. I mean, it's functional already, just the aesthetic part might be improved a little bit. And also, this isn't really centered, right? So it should be, okay, it should be like this. So that's a little bit better. Cool. So let me just save it, and that's gonna be it for today. So thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in, and hopefully we see each other next time. So until then, bye bye.